Hello everybody, Cam Sweet here from the Garage Connection, and today we're coming to you with a new lighting setup here so I don't look like I'm in a cave. And also we're going to talk about the hydraulic quick disconnects that you can choose to put on your machine or not, okay? So the first part of this, we're going to talk about this style of auxiliary hose. So let me get this cap out of the way here. So what we have on this, we have this one happens to be a 5/16. The size isn't really that important for this, but we've got a hose, we've got a female swivel, and then we have a coupling, and then we have a cap, okay? And in theory, if you bought a tilting bucket or a breaker or a whatever, or a thumb, you would thread your hose onto this end, and then you would be able to operate your auxiliary hydraulics just like that, okay? No big deal, everything's fine. However, everybody seems to buy the quick coupler, and then you will buy accessories for it, and then you gotta spend time with wrenches undoing hydraulic hoses, and that kind of defies the point of quick coupling. So we're gonna talk about really the three different options and which one might be right for you. So stay tuned. So here we have examples of two different style hydraulic couplers that are available on the market for your machine. This first one is going to be called sometimes they're called industrial or ISO 7241 alpha. Very important. The alpha part is very important. This coupling is a normal coupling. It's called a quick disconnect, and essentially just like an air chuck, you would pull this little sleeve back, and then you would insert it in there and it quick connects. The deal with this is sealed with what's called a poppet valve, and it's actually this little valve right here. So there's one just like it inside of the female coupling, and then you got the male coupling right here. You push, bada bing, bada boom, and you are good to go. Benefits of this style: extremely popular, reasonably good price on them. Drawbacks to this style of coupler is every time you connect and disconnect, you are going to lose a little bit of fluid. They say it's like a teaspoon of fluid, somewhere around there. I'm not counting, but just keep that in mind, that if you choose to go with this style of coupling, you are going to lose a little bit of fluid, and some people don't like that. Other people have existing accessories that maybe they want to use with their machine, and they don't have this style. This is an older style of coupling. Now, the other style of fittings that I want to talk to you about is going to be the kind of the alternate of this. So I said before, this is an ISO, let's see, 7241 alpha. There is an ISO 7241 Bravo. Now, they are both technically agricultural or industrial style fittings. They're not the same, and they're not interchangeable. So it's very important if you end up having, if you go on the internet and you find a male and a female and, oh, it's ISO, it's going to be the same. Unfortunately, it's not. So if you don't like this and you want to upgrade to something a little bit more reliable, a little less messy, whatever it may be, you can choose to go to what's called a flat face style coupling. Now, this is an example of a flat face style coupling. So in here, what we have is we have actual seals on the ends of these things, and then we have a much more substantial collar. And the nice part about this is it locks, okay? So what you would do with this is you would insert the two pieces into one another, and the collar would slide down. What's nice about this is you don't have to pull the collar back to get it to lock. You can just push in, it will click in. And then what you'll do is, if you notice on this collar, there's a little cutout right there. There's also one on this side, and we have a little ball right there. You can move this collar however you want, but if the cutout is not lined up with the ball, it will not allow you to disconnect. So you can add some security to your hydraulic connection using a style like this. Now, if you want to disconnect it, you simply rotate it until the ball's lined up, you pull back, life is good, and with this style, there is no spillage of hydraulic fluid. You won't lose any fluid, maybe a drop or two, but generally it's a much cleaner connection. Now, this style is a little bit more expensive. It's not crazy, but it's maybe 30% more expensive. The other style of coupling that is popular in the let's go with the off-brand market. You find a male and a female and, oh, it's ISO, it's going to be the same. Unfortunately, it's not. The other style of coupling that is popular in the, let's go with the off-brand market, is going to be the ball type. As I said before, this is a poppet style valve. The ball type is, it doesn't have this little nipple that sticks out. It's more, it kind of looks like a smooth ball. And these are available in your lower end brands, your Vivors, kind of your Harbor Freight level quality, sort of like the rest of the machine. Unfortunately, the ball valves, while they are economically priced, there's a couple of common issues. The first one is leakage. They're very, very prone to leaks. And the second one is flow issues. So the ball style, unfortunately, you have to step up the body size very big to get the flow that one of these similar couplings has. And you end up having this big monstrosity on a little tiny hydraulic hose because they just don't flow a lot. So if you think you see a good deal on a ball style coupling, I would shy away from those because they're not known to be the best for your application. Now, the last style of connections, which unfortunately I cannot actually demonstrate, but you're going to understand what it is when I'm explaining it to you. Some of these units have a metal block mounted right here with it, what looks like a hex head on there, and then your auxiliary hydraulics actually run all the way down to the block. This is what's called a hydraulic diverter valve. There's a couple different ones out there. There's a two-way and a three-way. The two-way, very, very straightforward. You have your aux line coming in, and then you have a line going out the bottom, and it goes to your accessory, okay? The three-way is designed for somebody who has a hydraulic thumb and also wants to add accessories on. Essentially, the three-way is the same block, except the valve body itself has 3 holes in it, and the valve does not simply shut off the flow. Instead, it's like an L on the inside. So you can have it one way and it's directing flow to your thumb. You switch the body around and it directs flow to your accessory. Unfortunately, a lot of these entry-level machines, this is not present as a feature on them. And you know, you can add it on, you can, and I can get the valve bodies. They're not the cheapest thing in the world, and unfortunately, what we have to do is we have to set you up with a valve body that you have to drill into your boom, and then we need to get you set up with an extension whip to tie into your auxiliary hydraulics, and we also have to get you set up with the fittings to go ahead and connect to whatever accessory you want. So if this is something that interests you and you want this style, you got to shoot me an email and we'll get a price out to you and we'll see if we can agree on something and maybe get you set up with the product that you need. You know, again, they're not the cheapest thing in the world, unfortunately. The quick connects, we can get you set up with those for a very good price. Now we got to talk about how to get it to work on your machine. And this is something that is important to get right because you will chase your tail around trying to get the right fittings for your machine. Now, unfortunately for everybody out there, these couplings generally in the States are only available in SAE thread or pipe thread. And neither of those threads will fit the existing connections on your machine. So in an effort to make your life easier, because that's what this is all about, is making everybody's life easier and getting the products that you want on your machine without going through the hassle of spending a couple hours at the hydraulic shop trying to figure out what fitting does what. We're going to offer these for sale on the Central Digger Supply Shopify page that I'm going to put a link to in the description to this video. You go to the page, all you have to do is tell me 2 things. You have to tell me what style connections you want, and you have to tell me what the size is for your hex ends of your hydraulic hose. That's it. So if you come up and you say, hey Cam, I really like those flat face style, and this hex happens to be a 19 millimeter, and the hex on the accessory I'm looking to use happens to be a 19 millimeter, that's all the information I need for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you 2 sets of these. You'll be able to put a male and a female and then do the exact same on your hydraulic accessory. You'll be able to do that. You'll be able to connect them right to your existing fittings, and that's it. No drama, no headache. We're going to get you set up with what you need at a better price than you can go out and buy them from a company on your own, okay? That's what we're going to do for you.